All right, Leslie.
Uh-huh.
So what would you say if I told you today we're going to talk about a place that I love to be there, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. What do you think I'm talking about?
Well, I know you like the views in Elkton, Virginia.
Well, actually, I was talking about you.
Okay.
Well, hey,
He's
listen.
trying.
She's actually, now that I got my brownie points, she is actually right. We're going to talk about Elkton, Virginia today. So hang around to this video and we're going to talk about the pros
And the cons
of Elkton. But let's go ahead and get started right now.
So if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything about Virginia's real estate market, please hit that subscribe button and touch that icon bell so that you will be the first to be notified about all the things that we talk about on this channel.
My name is Stefan, and my beautiful wife.
Oh, golly, he's trying. I'm Leslie.
And we get phone calls all the time from folks who are looking to sell a home or to purchase a home, and we absolutely love to help those folks when they call.
Yes.
So if you're interested in selling a home or purchasing a home, look in the description down below. That's where you'll find the information, and we'll be happy to help you in either one of those cases to meet all of your real estate needs. Now, as we said, today we're going to talk about something very beautiful,
Yes.
Elkton, Virginia.
Beautiful location.
And so, talking about pros and cons, I think that is one of the biggest pros of Elkton is that it sits in a very beautiful area. Yeah, it sits in the valley, the Shenandoah Valley, but you've got Mount Massanutten on the west side, and then you have the Blue Ridge Mountains on the east side. And like I say, right in that valley, it's just a really, really nice place. I mean, what is it, Leslie, that you like about where it sits, and what do you like about Elkton?
There are no bad views in Elkton.
True.
Really aren't. I love the quaintness of the little small town. When you're up on a mountain, you can see that little town, especially when it's starting to get dusk and the lights are coming on, and it's just this beautiful, small, quaint Virginia Shenandoah Valley town, I guess you could say.
Yeah, well, you're actually getting the pro number 2, I would say, and that it is great small town living in Elkton. Let me ask you, when you go to Elkton, do you feel relaxed?
I do. I can go into like one of the little restaurants that serves ice cream, and they, you know, when the warmer time, not like today when it's cold, but in the warmer times you can sit out there with your ice cream outside or a drink, and you can enjoy the beautiful weather.
Yep. And like I say, you can sit inside today, but are you thankful for a fireplace?
I'm thankful for the fireplace.
So, but yeah, and like you say, it is really nice there. And another place there is Elkton, the Elkton Brewery. And nice place they serve craft beers there, of course, and just a really nice chill spot. And like I say, it's a small town, but it's got that relaxed hometown atmosphere. And I think that's definitely another pro. I think if you continue that thought on, another pro has got to be the outdoor activities in Elkton.
So many.
I mean, to your east, you've got Skyline Drive, you've got Shenandoah National Park. You actually have Elk Run Creek that runs right through, or right by the town there. You have the
Shenandoah branches off.
Yeah, the Shenandoah, the South Fork of the Shenandoah, right to the west of town. And so if you're looking to canoe, the water, fish, that type of thing.
Tubing, kayaking, all of the things that you said, yes, right there on the rivers. Got a lot of stuff.
It is great for that. And of course, there's other opportunities around that are kind of near Elkton, but only about 15 minutes away, and that's it.
Mount Massanutten Ski Resort.
There you go, yeah.
I mean, you can go up there, and especially like right now when it's starting to get winter time and the kids are still wanting to swim maybe, they have an indoor water park that you can go in all day and swim to your heart's content. But there's skiing, there is mountain biking, hiking,
golf.
I mean, there's, we would have to forget that.
But there's a lot of other things up there too. There's dinner theaters and plays. I mean, there's a whole host of, and that's just right next door to you there at Massanutten Ski Resort. So, like I say, for a small town, having everything that it has in the town is a nice little thing. I mean, we're talking about a town of less than 3,000 people, and then right nearby you have Mount Massanutten. Then, of course, 25 minutes down the road, you've got Harrisonburg and all that Harrisonburg has to offer as well. So, Well, let's go back into the town, though. Let's talk
Okay.
about another pro, and that is that there are multiple parks right there in the town.
For a
And
small town that's got a lot to offer and more parks than most small towns.
yeah, and Blue Ridge Park is one of those. It's a very large park, and that's actually where they have their Elkton Field Day in July every year. It's also home of the Elkton Blue Sox of the Rockingham County Baseball League, and I know that we were there the other night, and we stood up above where the highway is there, and we looked down across it and saw the sun setting over Mount Massanutten. And what was your impression?
Well, we were checking out, first of all, one of my buyer's new constructions. They're building there, and she is going to have an amazing view of the sunset and of Mount Massanutten, the ski resort. In the wintertime, she's going to be able to see that glow from the night skiing up there. She has got the view, and the park is right there down below, and it's just, she's going to be able to walk across the street to it.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, it's just so pretty. And another thing, right off the edge of that park, they actually have the Elkton 9/11 Memorial. And one of the things that I really find nice about Elkton is they've remembered 9/11, of course, and in this memorial, but they also remember their veterans.
They do.
It's a very veteran-friendly town. I know that being up there recently, of course, we've got Veterans Day coming up here in a few days. Yeah, and so, but along all of their poles, their electric poles
Yeah, they have
in
those
town.
banner flags on the poles.
Yeah, and the banners, every one of them has a picture of the veteran from the town of Elkton there. And it could be back to World War II, the Vietnam War, the Gulf Wars, whatever the case. And it's really nice.
I love that they recognize their veterans.
Yeah, it has the dates that they served, and that's just a really cool thing, and something that helps remind you. And we thank all of those of you who are serving in the armed forces, or who have served in the armed forces, like both of our fathers had. And we appreciate all that you've done to continue to allow us to have our freedoms that we have.
Absolutely.
And thank you very
Thank
much. Like I say, that's another one of the parks. There's a nice little basketball court, another park there in town, different place that has some nice basketball courts. And there's also the Elkton Run Trails. The Elkton Run Trails, excuse me, sit right along that Elkton Run Creek. And so you can bike there, of course you can hike, you can jog, you can splash in the water there in the creek, and like I say, it's really nice to have that in town there. And so you think of a small town, maybe sometimes a small town maybe has one park and that's it. And there's a few different places here in Elkton for having different parks. All right, Leslie, so kind of taking 4 pros there. Why don't you take a con?
Oh, he gives me, love it. All right, a con. Let's talk about the convenience factor of the things that are available to you shopping-wise, okay? So yes, for a small town, you're going to move there. It's a rural location. You're not going to hopefully expect a lot of the shopping that you're going to find in a larger city. So grocery store, there's a if I could talk, there's a Food Lion there, which you're going to be able to pick up your groceries there if you don't want to go into Harrisonburg. There's also the Rockingham Co-op, so it's going to service all of the rural locations that have animals. And then there are some smaller restaurants and things like that in Elkton. So if you're going to want to go like to the Costco, you're going to have to go into Harrisonburg, which is about 20 minutes away.
Yeah, and like Leslie said, I mean, you're in a small town, you kind of expect to be out of the way a little bit, and 20 minutes isn't too bad, but if you have to be a person that has to have everything right around the corner, a small town living out this far away is probably not for you. All right, well, let's go ahead and let's go do another pro. and that is, there are a couple of places there in town that have major employers, a couple of businesses. Now, there's like an Advance Auto and an AutoZone and the Food Lion and then the shops and things like that, but that's not what I'm talking about. There in town, there's actually Merck Pharmaceuticals has a huge plant.
It's huge.
They're just outside of town, and also you have Molson Coors Brewing Company there in town as well. Those are are very large employers there in the area. So if you're working at one of those employers and you live in Elkton, you're very close to where you live. So that's the pro. The con is that if you don't work at one of those places, you're probably going to have to travel to Harrisonburg. So overall, the amount of jobs in that area, there's not as many. You're going to have to travel to a larger city, which is common. You're going to have to travel to a larger city. Yeah, and so, like I say, you have to go into Harrisonburg to get some of those places. You might have to go up and down Interstate 81 into another one of the towns or cities there, depending upon what type of job you have.
So you cheated. You did a pro and a con out of one topic.
I did cheat.
Yeah, you cheated.
So, but let's go ahead and let's do a true con then.
Okay, so if you are a person who needs medical attention, a lot of medical attention, Elkton's not going to be the place for you because it's going to take you about 20 minutes to get to the Centara Medical Center in Harrisonburg. And that's where you're going to have a lot of the major medical things that you're going to possibly need. So if it's okay that you're 20 minutes away, great, live in Elkton. But if it's something that you're going to always need and you need immediate access to it, then Elkton's not going to be the place for you. They do have a small clinic on the western side of town, though, that is also associated with Centara Medical. And if you're wanting, cold, sniffles, the typical, little kids things too, that's going to be a great location for you.
All right, so let's talk about another pro.
Okay, he's getting all the pros.
That's right. So one of the pros of living in Elkton is the cost of living and the cost of housing.
Yeah.
As you can see here, the cost of living in Elkton, according to payscale.com, is about 6% less than the national average. Likewise, housing is about 8% less than the national average as well. The average home sold in Elkton last year not the average, but the median price for home sold was about $287,000, which is well below the national average. So, like I say, as far as the cost of living and housing there, I think it's very good. And I know that you sold several houses there. Maybe you can talk about the styles and types of houses there.
It kind of varies. I have already alluded to the new construction home that is going up on a piece of raw land that I sold with the views. I sold, an almost $600,000 beautiful colonial revival style home, which was brick and sitting on 10 acres. So whether it's a small location or a large location with some acreage, there is a lot of different variety of homes that are available to you. Older homes, new construction in a few places. There's actually also an over 55 location community there in Elkton as well. So it kind of hits all of those price points as well as sizes of homes that you may be needing.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, there's also, I don't know if you said it or not, but there's farm homes in the area as well.
Right.
And so there's just a whole lot of different kinds of homes there. And it's not uncommon of any other town necessarily here in the area. But if you're looking for a particular style, that if you wait, it might not be on the market today, but it may eventually come up in that town, or maybe it is on the market today. So you definitely have a lower cost of living and housing, and you have different types of properties to offer. All right, so you've really taken most of the cons today.
Right.
So I'll take one, but again, it's kind of one of those I kind of like sideways on.
Again.
So that is the schools. Now, since COVID, I mean, schools across the country have struggled.
Everywhere.
We have 2 children that teach in local schools here in the area, and they've talked about how the students have fallen behind over the last few years. And if you're not familiar with the schools in the area, you go on different websites and you can read, talk about the same school, and it tells you 2 totally different things sometimes. So look at multiple websites if you're not here in the area, and it'll tell you more, and you get a better gauge for that. But actually, School Quality here in Virginia, this website is kind of good because it tells you exactly how that school is performing. And if you look at the 2 elementary schools, like in the last couple of years, they're missing 1 or 2 of their objectives, but in the prior years they were hitting most of their objectives.
They were before COVID.
Yeah. Now the middle school, they missed theirs pretty bad this last year or so, but even before that time they were doing better. And the high school, East Rockingham High School, is actually, was doing well before, and they're doing well after, and they're actually the #1 performing high school in all of Rockingham County. So that's why I say there's some improvement that can be made, and I know the teachers are out there struggling with absenteeism and other things, but like I say, right now they're kind of struggling, but I have no doubt that in the past they've done well, and the smaller classrooms as well.
The student-to-teacher ratios is something that, in a smaller town, you're going to have more attention by the teacher. It's going to be a smaller classroom, so that is a perk.
Yeah, like one of the schools, one of the elementary schools, only has like 280 students in it. So you've got definitely an opportunity to have that one-on-one interaction. So that's why I say at the end of the day, I mean, I guess it's a con based on where they're performing, but there's a lot of pros about the town, the schools there too, and in past years they've actually been ranked as some of the better schools in the area. So I wouldn't look at that too harshly because of where we're at right now. All right, so that's the last con, kind of. But let's go ahead. Let's finish on a pro.
Yes.
Okay.
We always like to finish on a positive.
That's right. And the thing I want to talk about is safety. I believe that Elkton is a very safe place to be. How do you feel about Elkton?
Oh goodness, I've shown houses after dark in Elkton. I walked around town. I feel safe there.
Yeah, we really like it there, and like many of the towns in the Shenandoah Valley. And I have some graphics here from the FBI from back in 2019. That's about the last thing I could find. And there's other places, but the last thing that I could find that had real comprehensive. I found some pieces of some things, and but let's just go back to 2019, which I know it's been a while ago. But here you can see that as far as violent crime is concerned, Elkton was about 3 times less likely to have a violent crime based on its less than 3,000 people. About 1 person per year was the victim of a violent crime. Very low, and it's even about twice as low as what is in the state of Virginia as well, which is already, Virginia is one of the safest states to live in the United States. I believe it's ranked number 7. Now, when it comes to property crime, we'll take a look here at this graphic, and you look like, uh-oh, we got problems with property crime. I don't know, maybe they had a rash.
2019 was a crazy year.
Yeah, bank robberies or something. I doubt it. So, but like I say, they, if you look here at this other graphic, you can see that, I don't know if it's another year or just different set of data, but it actually, very, very little crime per 1,000 people, property crime per 1,000 people. So, like I say, overall, I think it is the safety in Elkton is definitely a pro. If you move to Elkton, I think that you will find it to be a very safe and welcoming community. All right, Leslie, so here at the end of the video, what would you say about Elkton? Would you give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Definitely a thumbs up.
Why would you give it a thumbs up?
Oh, for all the things that we already mentioned. The views are amazing, and there is a plethora of outdoor activities to be involved in.
Yeah, not to mention you've got that real nice, small hometown feeling that just really does put you in a really relaxing environment. And so, but like I say, if you're interested in purchasing a home in the Elkton area or any other area here in the Shenandoah Valley, or if you're looking to sell your home there in Elkton or anywhere else here in the valley, Leslie and I, we get calls all the time from folks that are looking to sell or buy. And as real estate agents, we truly do. We want to help you to meet your needs so that experience goes smoothly for you. So, but it got cold outside, but it's been nice being sitting here by the fire.
From our fireplace.
So, like she said, from in front of the fireplace, until next time, we'll see you around town.